Your mom Ashley is a creator in New York City and former member of the content house, Your Mom's House, who films every single aspect of her life, for better or for worse.
At that point, for a while, I was like, I'm never gonna show my relationships like ever again.
She's daringly decided to post her most vulnerable moments, insecurities, and experiences for everybody to watch, which quickly garnered millions of fans and turned into a full-time business that now expands way beyond herself. This is her story, journey as an entrepreneur, and motivation for business and success. As soon as you hit the like button and subscribe, it helps us out tremendously. Thank you so much, and now a quick word from our sponsor.
Now, thank you, Graham, for that beautiful introduction on our guest, Ashley. Now, she films every single moment of her life, and you can probably guess she uses a nice camera and equipment and very expensive equipment, just like we do here on the Iced Coffee Hour. But you don't need to if you want to get started with our sponsor, of course, StreamYard.
How do you take someone from being a casual viewer to being like a hardcore fan?
Streaming. And that's really,
like
really
on
good.
Twitch?
Yeah, on Twitch. I did Twitch during COVID for like 6 months.
StreamYard is a live streaming software that allows you to begin creating content with just the click of a button. All you need is a camera and internet connection, and you're able to stream right now directly from your browser. By doing so, you could stream to multiple social media platforms at the same time, including Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and more.
They also offer various analytics tools, such as a tool that shows you which platform is driving the most amount of traffic, which is extremely helpful to know.
It's really the best way to begin creating content without spending any money because they offer a free package that you could try out for no money. It's free.
All you guys got to do to start creating high quality content for completely free is clicking that link down below in the description to join StreamYard today. Seriously, it helps us out a ton here on the Iced Coffee Hour. It would mean a lot. Thank you so much, StreamYard. And on to the episode.
I love it down here. I have to say, it's grown on me. I was coming down here at first time, what is this spot? There are no windows down here. We're like,
nope.
I feel like we're 2 floors below ground, but it's really nice.
Yeah, it's
bedroom,
definitely fun. Yeah, it's a fun house.
You were telling me, how much does this rent for down here?
This room specifically is $2,900. So
2,900.
No, you get no windows. You get no windows in here.
It's a
down some like
room.
It's a big room. It's a very big room.
It is
the
big.
size of 2 New York City apartments. So.
But where's the window? You have no natural sunlight at all.
That's the
in
real estate
basement.
agent and him talking right now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow.
What's the full rent on the house? That's what I'm wondering.
The full rent is $16,500.
$16,500.
Split between 5 people. But actually, I would say that is very doable for New York City.
Wow. So what is that? Like $3,000 basically
Yeah.
per person?
Relatively, yeah.
Yeah. With some rooms probably paying a little bit more.
And we have a backyard, everything. So
It's a cool spot.
for me, I think it's pretty. I think it's a good deal.
How is it living with so many people?
It's good. I love all my roommates. They're all like super chill. We all travel a lot, so like our schedules are definitely like. There's probably only like a few people home at a time, but it's really nice. And it makes it more homey in a way, because I've lived alone a couple of times, and it's nice to come home and have the house be lively, especially here, like there's always something going on. But the house just feels like warm and full, so.
Yeah. But the living alone whole genre now is really doing well, especially in New York. My fam I feel like just pioneered that, like, living alone in New York City.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, wish I could use that title.
You could. I feel like you could just rent a studio for the purpose of, like, living alone.
I know, right?
That would be interesting, just a straight business expense to be
Yeah.
able to clickbait that.
Yeah, living alone in my studio. Like, or seriously, I think just a video titled "I Moved Out." ... would do so well. Even if you just get a studio somewhere else, like
I feel like it's inciting unnecessary drama. Like people are going to start questioning things.
Know.
I'm curious, how do you think drama, just in general, has affected your channel? Is it generally a good thing, or is it like all attention is good attention, or have you seen negative effects of drama?
Yeah, I mean, I try to avoid drama at all costs. So definitely like try to avoid it. I think it depends on like the type of creator you are. I think there are certain creators that like kind of thrive off of it. They use it to grow their channel. But for me, I think at the end of the day, like my community is really the most important. So any drama that I can like avoid is always going to be the best. Even if drama brings you more views, like all of that, I think it's better to just have like a nice, wholesome community, like do your life, do your thing, and not try to get into trouble just for the views, I guess. Yeah.
How did you get started with YouTube?
So I started in college, my freshman year of college. I was at RPI, which is upstate. It's Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. So I was going there thinking I'm going to do pre-med. I'll probably go to medical school. And although I think I still would have liked that route, I was like, I have this creative side. Ideally, I would like to pursue this more. So I decided, hey, I'm going to do this on top of college. I've always wanted to make videos. I used to make them when I was like 12, 13. Like I've had my YouTube channel since then and like would post here and there, but never actually like fully committed to it until I was in college. And then I did that alongside my like biology degree for 3 years until my junior year of college, when I finally decided like I'm gonna probably do YouTube full time afterwards. And then I switched over to business my last year and graduated with a business degree.
Really?
Yeah, which is really funny. But
at any point, did you want to drop out and just like
for
go
sure.
100% YouTube?
For sure. Like my sophomore year, I would talk to my parents like, I need to drop out. And they were like, no, you gotta stick through this. Like they really wanted me to have this kind of like fallback, I guess,
Sure.
just in case, or just like more traditionally, I think they just want me to like have my degree. Just be like, she graduated college.
Yeah, sure.
And I think I didn't like necessarily need to go to college, but I really enjoyed college still, and I think it taught me a lot of discipline. And also I think from like a YouTube standpoint, even it was more exciting for me to like show my classes, and I would do videos where like I wear certain outfits to school, so it gave me more things to do. And I kind of miss having that structure a little bit now that I'm out of college, actually.
Yeah. But what prompted you to first start making videos? Like, why did you start?
First?
Yeah.
So when I like first made videos, I was probably like 12, 13, and it was that era of YouTube where beauty gurus were like popping off. I don't know if you know Bethany Moda, but she was like one of
I don't know.
really.
No.
She was like one of like the biggest beauty gurus at the time, and I loved her videos. And I was like, oh, I just like want to do something similar. Like I love to like show like what I'm packing for a trip or just things like that. And I just really looked up to her at the time. So I feel like that's what kind of got me into it initially.
Were your parents hesitant about you like YouTube at like 12, 13 years old?
12,
Absolutely,
13?
yeah.
That's like 6th, 7th grade.
I know. Yeah. That's why I didn't ultimately like continue it. I think I made like 10 videos. And then
Did your parents know about that though?
They
Or
did.
Oh, they did. And were they okay with you posting videos online?
My mom was kind of like, like, this is kind of sketch. Like, random, like, old men can watch your videos.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, mostly it just, I don't know, it got in the way of school. I had my sports, and then I just kind of like fell off until I later decided that I wanted to. But even then, initially, my parents were still like, hey, shouldn't you be focusing on like your classes and like your medical, like all of that stuff? So yeah, but now they're very proud. I think they just didn't like understand like initially like that YouTube could be a job. And I mean, I low-key didn't even know that either. I was just doing it because I thought it was fun. But now they're like my biggest supporters of it ever.
So what sort of videos were you making in college?
In college, I made a lot of like hauls, actually. I think that's what started my channel, and that's what kind of like brought people to my channel because they were more searchable. So I would do like, here's like a spring haul or like a haul from like a specific brand. My first video that like ever popped off was a Vans collection video, actually. So I showed like all my shoes. That was my first video to hit 1 million views. And I think that's like what kind of like kickstarted everything.
What's the appeal to watching a haul video? Because for me, like, I'm thinking like if I'm perusing the YouTube algorithm and I see something like my spring haul, I would like, I don't know if that's something I would really like be super enticed. I mean, maybe I'm probably just not the target.
Haul, yeah.
That I might click. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. So what is the appeal to something like that? Because I'm sure you probably consume that content.
Yeah. So, I mean, even now, I think there was a time and a place where hauls were really popular. I don't think at the moment they're super popular anymore. But the reason why I think people would watch them is because they would be like, oh, I'm going to buy things from like Princess Polly, for example, like, and then you can go on a haul and see what someone else bought off that website that like looked good, and you can see it worn on a person, and then you can kind of go, oh, actually, like I'm gonna add that to my cart.
Just shopping purposes.
It's literally for just shopping purposes, pretty much. But what I did actually was I used to film my hauls with my siblings, because I would watch hauls and be like, actually, these are really boring, because like low key, like a haul like is kind of boring, and I was like, I want to like do hauls that are fun, that people also just watch like just because they're a fun video. So I would do hauls that like had my siblings in them and like were really like, we would just be like messing around. Like it would be kind of like a vlog, but like centered around like occasionally like showing pieces, which is like a really interesting setup. But like that is how I like started my channel though originally. And I haven't done that same structure in a long time, but that's like how I started.
How much did you make from the video that did 1 million views?
At that point, I was not monetized, so I made nothing. And when I actually started YouTube, they were kind of like updating the partner program terms. So I remember I grinded YouTube for like a full year, like 3 videos a week, and I never got paid until I was like a year or more into YouTube, like probably over 100K subs.
Really?
So you got 100,000 subs in your first year doing YouTube?
Yeah.
What was the motivation to keep going when you weren't making any money from it? And you were in college as well, so I'm assuming it was probably a pretty like intense schedule.
Yeah. I literally think it was just like something in me was just like discipline to be like, you like told yourself you're gonna do this, like you better do it. Like, or I remember when I started in college specifically, like Emma Chamberlain was popping off, so she was definitely like another like inspiration for me. I was like, oh, like I love her vlogs, like I feel like I could do something similar. I remember like watching her videos and being like, I'm gonna start YouTube. In the first year, I will get 300,000 subscribers, and like that didn't happen, but like I came a third of the way. So yeah, and I think also, like the community and comments and having people kind of like uplift you definitely like pushes you to keep posting as well.
So how much were you making at the time you graduated college?
At the time I graduated college, I mean, I was making enough to decide, hey, I'm going to be full-time. I rented out my own apartment. I'm like trying to think of exactly how much I made. I would say as a creator, like the amount you make is like pretty exponential for the most part, especially like as you're initially growing. But definitely 6 figures by the time that I graduated college.
Impressive. So there's no desire at all to like get a job or take that. Did your parents pressure you at that point to be like, well, you could still just, you know, pursue medicine?
No. Sometimes my mom will still as a joke be like, medical school? I'm like, I'm good, Mom. But no, at that point they were like, if what's working is working, then like keep doing what you're doing.
Although before we go into that, wait, hold on one sec. Where's Jack?
Yo, what's up, Graham? I'm so sorry I couldn't make it again, man. I'm actually here in New York trying to find funding for my new genius business idea. Basically, it's like any other dating app, except when my profile shows up, they have to swipe right or else they get banned. What do you think? Pretty smart, huh?
Jack, that's the dumbest.
Anyways, dude, even though this is like clearly Fortune 500 level stuff, I'm really struggling to find funding.
Jack, we've been through this. You should look instead to today's sponsor, Fund and Grow. Fund and Grow is a unique funding alternative with far fewer restrictions than traditional bank loans. With their 12-month membership, you could access up to $250,000 of credit at 0% interest, all while retaining full equity in your company.
And as a special offer for our listeners, Fund and Grow has prepared a business funding masterclass that uncovers the 5 steps to getting up to $250,000 in business credit.
And don't just take our word for it. Over 4,000 customers have given Fund and Grow 4.9-star reviews. Plus, as an exclusive bonus, you'll get a $500 discount on their services. So don't wait to fund and grow your business. Visit Fund and Grow down below in the description to get started today. And now with that said, let's get to the podcast.
So then what'd you do after college?
I lived in Troy, which is very barren and boring, actually.
I don't know where Troy is.
Yeah. I mean, I like it because it's like kind of my hometown, but I lived there by myself for maybe like 6 months. And then it was just like, I mean, I'm still in my hometown, so I'm kind of like, I feel like I really need a change of pace. And then after that 6 months, I eventually moved to New York afterwards.
When did you notice your content really taking off? And why do you feel like people started to subscribe to you?
I feel like my content really started taking off probably in 2019. So maybe like year and a half or 2 after I started like initially posting. I was doing a lot of college videos, which like unfortunately like right when I was like, oh, my college videos are doing so well was like COVID. And I was like, seriously? But I think like what drew people to the videos were like probably a sense of like relatability. I was a college student at the time, so a lot of my videos were kind of focused around that. But I also show my family a lot. That's also like a huge trait in my videos. So I think that's also like something that people kind of come to see because it's like our little group, our little family, and people get attached to everyone and we just have like our jokes and our moments and we share like I mean, we share like very intimate life moments, like low key on my channel, I feel like. So definitely that.
If someone's trying to like build like an actual community, right? Like fans rather than just casual viewers.
Okay.
How do you take someone from being a casual viewer to being like a hardcore fan?
Yeah, I think I actually haven't done this in a while, but I think things like podcasts, like this one right now, like are really helpful to kind of like give people a more like in-depth view of who you are. Or I also used to do streaming, and that's really,
like
really
on Twitch?
good. Yeah, on Twitch. I did Twitch during COVID for like 6 months.
What was the motivation
like
behind
every
that?
day. I just kind of wanted to try it. Also, I think I was like really burnt out of editing, so I was like streaming. But it was also like a really cool way to like be super present with your community, because like they're literally like in chat and you like can talk to them.
How long were you streaming for? Like, what was the day like in terms of time?
Oh my gosh, when I like was really streaming, I would stream like 5 days a week for like 4 hours a day.
What was the stream about?
Crazy. Sometimes we'd be playing Among Us.
Among Us? You were Among Us?
But back then it was like, oh man, that's the only game to play.
There you go. Okay.
That's the only game I know how to play. So once Among Us fell off, I was like, goodbye
That's
Twitch.
it. Yeah.
That's all I got. Or I would do like just chatting, or like I would edit, or like
like you'd actually be editing a video and like casually talking.
yeah.
Interesting.
To be really chill.
I've noticed that definitely amongst Twitch streamers that they have like very diehard fan bases. And it's hard for a lot of people, especially the people that do like spectacle content on YouTube, to really connect with their audience, especially if it's more like scripted out content. So they can have a ton of viewers and a ton of subscribers, but not very many fans. But one thing I've noticed about Twitch specifically is that Twitch creators, like, I mean, you go on their Instagram and their like engagement rate is like, it's like 40%. Like they have like 300,000 followers on Instagram and they're getting 150,000 likes. So it's really interesting.
Amazing.
Yeah, and you notice that to be really positive for you in growing your fan base.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely like, those are things I kind of haven't done in a minute, but that I'm like, oh, I really want to do that again in the future, just because it was like, made me for one feel closer to my community, but also I think just like made everyone feel like the community was really there.
How do you be on so much? Because I feel like, at least for me, it's like a constant. When the camera's recording, there's always a bit in the back of my mind where I'm like, I'm thinking of what I should be saying, and I know I have to be present for the camera, and I can't like, you know.
That was definitely the most straining thing about streaming, that made me kind of realize this isn't something I can do as often as I thought, because it is like kind of exhausting to be like aware like for that long. But honestly, like if you're like gaming like with other people, like the hours pass and like you don't even notice. But once you are just sitting there by yourself and like chatting to a screen, it is a little more noticeable, yeah.
And then what was it like then to move into a house with other YouTubers?
Yeah, I mean, it was so cool. I feel like I didn't have like a work like group or like coworkers, I guess you might say. So it kind of felt like, oh, I finally have coworkers. I finally have people that like really understand my lifestyle, that I can ask for advice and ask for questions and like just all kind of grow together. And it's kind of like if someone makes a mistake, then like all of us learn from it. So it's just like the amount that you learn is more exponential, and I feel like I can really trust everyone's advice. Like we'll always be like, how does this thumbnail look? Or like, can you help me do this on Photoshop and things like that. So I think it was like super, super helpful. And also just like coming to New York in general was definitely like, I don't know, such like a big like helpful move for me, I felt, because if I didn't move, I'd probably like still be upstate doing God knows what. But yeah.
What is it about New York that so many people are drawn to? Because it seems like there is something different here, that a lot of people like it, and it's so much different than anything that I've really seen or experienced.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely just like you come here and there's like a certain energy of people grinding and working hard, which can sometimes be like a little exhausting, but I think like if you have like the right personality that kind of like meshes with it, it's like helps you kind of do the same thing. But I really like the walkability. That's something that I really, really like about New York, is how close everything is. And I think there's so many opportunities, and especially other creators. So just like the community here, I think, as well.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's anything leisure here. Have you noticed that? Like, there's very little relaxation.
Interesting. I'm now thinking,
Yeah,
and I
there's
don't think
nothing.
I've seen anything. Like, there are parks and stuff, but I don't know if people like really go and like chill in parks. Because when I was in the
bet they
park,
do,
everyone's like
yeah.
running. People are like hustling, like
Yeah,
playing
you
like
know,
a violin
everyone's
or something.
busy.
Yeah.
Everyone's busy and has a place to be. LA, I feel like there's a bit more of like a relaxed, carefree vibe. Vegas is very much, I think, like do nothing. Like
I've never been.
Yeah, well, it depends where you go. On the Strip, everyone's like on vacation, so you're not going to get anyone really like working except if they work there.
Yeah.
Then off of the Strip, it's just quiet.
Suburban areas in general, I feel like it's kind of hard to like feel like a ton of pressure because there's not very much noise. It's not like there's like people walking around, cars honking everywhere, you know, like pushing you to go faster.
It's a slow pace.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It took me a few days to figure out like why you have this desire to like keep working and going harder here. And I think it's just because everyone else is like out and about. Like there's always
everyone's doing
someone
something.
working, and it makes you want to work.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the content houses because Graham and I have kind of realized recently that we need to do a better job at networking. Like we kind of generally stay in our little bubble and we have people in our bubble that we're very close to, but it's very rare that we leave this bubble and like meet new people, which opens up new opportunities and new doors. I feel like content houses are a fantastic way, just in general, for aspiring.
Yeah. You should,
I mean,
start one.
I got a place in Vegas and I moved in a bunch of people that are like young entrepreneurs, and I definitely have found myself like benefiting from being in a space with other people, like like-minded people.
Yeah.
What has your experience been with like being in a content house? How has that positively or negatively affected your just success in general?
Yeah.
And would you recommend it to people that are trying to be good at YouTube?
Yeah. I mean, I think there are tons of pros and cons. I think as like a YouTuber specifically, it can be such an isolating job that it's like amazing to like find a group of people that have the same job as you and that you can like actually, like I said, feel like you have coworkers. But at the same time, I think pretty much every content house that I have ever seen has like pretty much failed or like has not like lasted for very long or eventually like kind of fizzles out in a way. I feel like there is always drama involved. So I feel like it's good if you're like, I feel like it's an experience that you kind of have to be like, do I want to sign up for this? And it's definitely good. It's a learning experience. You get to meet new people. I think it definitely helps for like growth for everyone in the group. But with that being said, everyone in the group probably does not have like the same ideas and just butt heads or whatever else happens. So
Is the Hype House still a thing? Is that still going or no?
Hype House is not a thing anymore?
no, I think they had a whole like Netflix series about how it kind of.
I can't join them.
I thought it was just the founder. Like the founder of something was not giving them good deals.
A lot of the times, the people that found the houses are not even like the people in the house. It's like some random CEO of some company that's got a ton of money and gets like a bunch of like 18-year-old kids all to like pile up in a house.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing at
I was just laughing at the idea, bro.
Of
You
what?
get like piling a bunch of 18-year-old people in a house and just seeing what happens. Maybe not seeing what happens. There's probably some like business acumen and reason behind doing it.
Yeah.
That sounds like it goes against everything you would learn in like a business
It does.
school.
It does.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
Just get teenagers together with a cell phone, have them post.
exactly
Monetize.
Genius
Throw in some
business idea.
sponsors. There you go. You're good to go.
Yeah, I think what happened in the Hype House was like they had, I feel like it was like a Bang Energy. They're like, you need to post the Bang Energy sponsorship.
Oh yeah, put
That
Bang
was
Energy in
it?
the back.
Yeah, and, like no one would do it. So like the leader
remember
was
that.
like, oh, like guys, just post the sponsorship, and like no one would film or like they're all just like doing their own thing. So.
I thought they were just like, was that was the group TikTok, right? Where they're supposed to do like a group TikTok for Bang Energy,
maybe I have no idea.
or like maybe
I
they
don't
had
really know
individual.
the details.
You're supposed to like just
It was
dance.
just a Bang Energy thing.
Yes,
Bang Energy broke the Hype House.
pretty much. So they wanted Bang Energy in the background of like everything. So like when you see like the dance or the like, I don't know how they do it, but like, but they're doing like the like that, like whatever.
renegade.
There's a Bang Energy drink in the back.
Yeah.
Just to do that. They just didn't do it. Which part of the reason why is like they're 18. They have like not a lot of discipline. Like, listen, they're highly successful, but
Yes.
But when you put them together in a room and they have to do a sponsorship, like a deadline, there's very little discipline to get that done. I don't know what Bang Energy was paying, but anyway.
Probably a bag.
Probably.
We should get the CEO of Bang Energy on. I hear he's a character.
Yeah, he said. I mean, I would be down.
That would be
I'm
funny.
sure it'd be a very interesting episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you guys ever do anything with Bang Energy?
No. That would have been cool though, I guess.
No.
I wish
No.
you just ended it. No.
No.
Cool.
I didn't.
I want to know because
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked a little bit about like where you've came from,
Yeah.
how you've become successful, but what you do it extremely well. Like I've noticed you have a very dedicated following. You have obviously a very successful YouTube channel. I want to know what you would describe are the most pivotal moments in your career, the decisions or opportunities that were presented to you that I would say made the most stark changes in your career.
Cool. I think, well, I mean, definitely starting my YouTube channel, that's the first one. I think actually, like when I signed my manager, just because most YouTubers have like management that helps them do things, signing a manager for me was so incredibly helpful. Just to kind of have them like take some of the workload off of me and like negotiate things for me. I feel like that really also made me feel like, hey, like this is pretty legit. Like this can be my job. And I think from there, I took it a lot more seriously once I had been signed. I think another big decision for me was switching to a business major, because then that kind of decision really solidified for me that like, hey, your job is going to be YouTube. Let's switch to a business major so that maybe some of what you learn in school can actually help you after college. But also at my college, it was like really STEM based. So I ended up like doing mostly data analytics, like in Excel. So I was like, did it really help? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think overall, probably the biggest thing for me was actually just moving to New York. Like, I think it really opened me up to more creators. And as someone that had been mostly a college YouTuber, I think I could have probably just fallen right off, like right after graduating college. I mean, like the same month I graduated college, I hit 1 million subs, and I kind of was like, hey, like I just did all the things I wanted to do. What's next? And then just kind of like didn't have as much motivation for it for like a few months, or just felt kind of lost. I think moving to New York and feeling the energy here and meeting new people is like really what kind of like kickstarted me to like really continue with my channel in the way that I am
Interesting.
now.
So moving to New York was actually like one of the most impactful things. And then what about getting a manager? Like, how do you find a manager? Because I know a lot of managers can be extremely exploitative towards their clients. Just in general, there's like kind of a negative connotation with talent management in general.
I feel that.
How do you find your manager? What exactly does management entail?
Yeah. So my manager, like, he just like pretty much emailed me, was like, I'm from this talent agency. Do you want to hop on a call and we can chat about it? So it's like very chill. And you basically like kind of do like a 3-month trial. And then from there, you'll have like a rolling, not like subscription, but like you'll just like re-sign.
There's some
like,
sort of like what, management fee or something?
No, not I shouldn't have said subscription, but like the contract just like continually like updates every like however long. But so how it kind of works is like your manager will like field all your emails and things like that. I'm trying to think what else, or what did you ask another question about?
Yeah, like what does it like entail to have a manager? Like how did that affect you exactly?
Okay. Yeah, I think, so once I had a manager, I mean, he definitely, like, if I'm working with brands, he actually knew what rate I deserved. And I was probably like, I would literally do a haul, like, just for the free clothes. Like, I did hella hauls, like, give me the free clothes. And, like, I was, like, super happy with that, but I was definitely, like, really undervaluing myself as a creator. So my manager was kind of like, hey, like, these are your rates. Like, we're going to make sure that you get good rates. And since it's like a talent agency, he also kind of like would just help out with like strategy or like, I guess like publicity, like in a way, and making sure that like we're growing and staying on top of things. But also I think once I started signing like more brand deals here and there, I definitely like had to make sure that my cadence of posting videos was very consistent. I didn't want to have too many branded videos, so I would always make like 2 or 3 non-branded videos for every branded video that I did. And I think that also is what made me consistent enough for like my YouTube channel to grow. So it's kind of interesting to be like, oh, like taking a sponsorship is like literally like would keep me on track to like keep doing YouTube, but it really kind of like gave me a schedule and like pushed me to just be like, gotta keep rolling, gotta keep doing all these things, but yeah.
I think it was my fam who was saying that when she gets a sponsorship that she likes, it'll give her inspiration for the idea for the video.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So she's like, all right, I got this brand. What can I do with that that'll make a really fun video? And then she builds it around that, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely do the same thing because I like to make sure that things are like super well integrated, and I'll of course like only take a brand deal if it's something that like I love. So usually I'm super excited about it. And then I'll be like, hey, like, what can I do to kind of like formulate a video around this specifically? Like a video that I'm working on actually right now was like with a jewelry company, and it's kind of like near Valentine's Day. So I'm like, oh, like, what can I do to like make a video? And like, I didn't have this video idea until I had been pitched this like brand deal. But I was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna get Kelly a necklace and like surprise him like in the airport for Valentine's Day and like all of this different stuff. So it definitely like can sometimes make for more fun videos, which is really cool.
Yeah. How do you decide what to post and how vulnerable to be on camera?
It's definitely hard. I think low-key's been like trial and error. Like sometimes like I'll say things and if I like just don't feel like good about it later, then I'm like, okay, the next time I know like, hey, like keep more things private, like set more boundaries. But I would say for the most part, I am a pretty open book, and there's not much that I actually won't talk about. I feel like I don't really actively think about it too much. I think I just like know in my heart, like, hey, I'm going to keep this private. It's private, but most things are not private.
Is there anything you regret posting or being more public about? Looking back?
I don't think so. I know, like, in the past, like, I had like another like relationship, and then when that relationship ended, I was like, oh my god, I had this bro in like hella videos, and like now I have to like archive them or something. So definitely like I think in those situations you can be like, oh, like I regret doing that, but I actually don't like. I like to be vulnerable, and I kind of realized like at that point for a while I was like, I'm never gonna show my relationships like ever again. And then actually just like completely came back on my word. I was like, hey, like I want to show my life. Like I want to be vulnerable. Like, and whatever happens, like I'll deal with the consequences. But like I want to show my life, and I don't want to like hide a big part of my life either. So.
Did you ever undelete those old videos with the ex, or did you just keep them unlisted?
I think some of them are unlisted, and I think some of them are still up.
Okay.
But I remember after we broke up, I was like,
You can always go through the YouTube editor now and just blur them out.
You could,
Just blur
I guess.
them out.
That'd be
That's
so
shade.
extra.
That would be funny, or you try to cut around it.
So what's your plan for growth for your YouTube channel? How are you going to take it to the next level? What's your overall like
YouTube channel?
Yeah, what's your overall situation going on right now?
I mean, I feel like I kind of take it day by day. Sometimes I try to like think about it too much, and then I'm just like, you get in over your head, or like you overanalyze it. And I think it's better for me to just be like, I'm going to keep making videos that make me excited, that I like to do, and not focus as much on like the numbers as much, or like let it get in my head. But I definitely think I want to do more like idea-based videos going forward. I do a lot of vlogs, but I think what brings more new viewers to my channel are like kind of idea-based videos. And by like idea-based, I just mean like not travel vlogs or like not daily vlogs, but maybe like I just did one where I was like, oh, trying every matcha in New York City. And that's something that like someone that doesn't know me might click on.
Is that what you're drinking now?
I am drinking a matcha right now.
Is this a
I
part of the
love
video,
matcha.
or is this like you just got a matcha?
I just got a matcha.
Okay.
Yes. But I had not gotten it from this place before, and I also didn't get it in the video. But it's pretty good.
Is it the best?
That would have made such a good short if you'd said trying every pizza in New York City, and just like every second is a bite.
Dude, I've had
of a
way
place,
too
like,
much
bite,
pizza.
bite, 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 bite. And you'd be
so
like, this one is
unhealthy.
pretty good. Bite, bite, bite.
Yeah. But love matcha. I am working on actually starting a matcha company.
Oh,
Really?
Yes.
what's the goal with that?
The goal is I love matcha, and I'm like, what better product could I do than this? But yeah, I've always kind of, I mean, I'm like working on merch right now, which I think will like launch maybe like every season. So I'm excited about that as well. But like, I'm really, really excited about doing matcha. I realize like, if like in my videos I drink it like all the time, it's like really within my branding, and it's something that like I genuinely enjoy, and I think that would be like super fun. But also, I guess the goal is I also want to diversify outside of YouTube as much as I can. So, trying to do a little real estate, trying to do a little
Real
Macha.
estate?
Not really real estate, but I am about to close on a house.
Really?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Where, like what?
Here, which is in New York, which is a little scary. But I was like, you know what? I like New York.
Is it like what? Like an apartment or?
Yes,
like
it's an apartment.
what's the plan
I like
there?
to say house because it makes me feel like I can justify how expensive it is, but it is literally just like an apartment. I love this place that I have here now, and maybe like potentially like I could renew like the lease here and like still live with roommates, but I really want to have another space that has good lighting because this place
Yes.
does not have good lighting like at all. And the place that I am working on closing on has like beautiful lighting. So I'm like, okay, I can spend like part of my time there, have another place that's like kind of like my own personal home. If I really want to say living alone in New York City, I can do that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, just like another place that has really nice lighting, and maybe my sister will come live there with me as well. We'll
That's
see.
cool. It seems like home renovation content is starting to come back in style. Do you have any plans of like fixing it up? Those would make great videos. Like,
Yes.
who's the one guy? Lone Foxwolf? I follow him on Instagram. His designs are incredible. And he goes,
Really?
yeah, he bought this old building in Los Angeles, like a 1920s building, and he turned it into something incredible. But doing something like that, like a kitchen remodel.
Yeah. I don't know about remodeling. My co-op board has the craziest fee for remodeling. They're like, if you do your kitchen, you have to put down a $10,000 down payment and we keep half. And I was like,
But what? Why?
So
if you like
weird.
damage anything in the building?
I guess so. But so I think probably not renovations, but I think decorating for sure.
And was the reason that you wanted to buy mostly like a financial decision? Like you thought it would probably be smart to build equity in a place in New York?
Yeah, that definitely is my main reason. Sometimes I'm like, wait, why am I doing this again? I'm like, it's just like actually just like have something that's like a good asset to have. But definitely I also just really like New York. I see myself staying here for a long time. So I'm like, okay, it makes sense to me that like I have a place. And also I think it's fun for content as well to be like, woo, new apartment, decorating.
People love the
Yeah.
grand tours. Honestly, if you just moved every year, those videos
know.
just do so well.
People do that.
They do.
Yeah. All the time.
So painful, but it is good for content, yes.
Just keep doing that. Does the co-op have an HOA? Or how does that work?
Yes, it does. Very high HOA.
Can I ask what it is?
Mine is $2,600.
Whoa!
But I get 60% of it back, which I'm really...
Wait, how do you get it back in?
Is it probably, I'm guessing, no, it wouldn't be reserves.
I really have no idea. But very high HOA, but then they said, oh no, you actually get like annually, you get 60% of all of the HOA that you paid back. And I'm like, why don't I just pay like 40% and like not do that? But
My guess is that they need a certain amount of reserves by the end of every year, and then if they don't use it, they give it back to you, but there might be a repair that they need the money. That's my only guess, but I'm not.
for like an assessment maybe, I'm not sure, but
Maybe. I don't know. We don't really do co-ops in California or Vegas, but it's way more common here because the price of real estate is just so high. Yeah, speaking of HOA, they raised the HOA in my community.
Mine got raised too.
Are you serious? What's
Yeah.
going on with this? Mine
I
was
don't know
raised
what's
like-
happening.
Mine was raised, I think it was like almost $100 a month raised.
No.
Increase.
Are you going to send him a letter and
You know
angry?
what? Part of me thinks this would be a great video, and I'm really, part of me is worried about it, and part of me thinks it would be a great video. Going over their budget and reacting to it.
I would love that. I think that's hilarious. You explain
I
like
was told-
HOAs and everything, and then
I was told the car they patrol the area in, which is probably like
building or...
no, it's not a building. It's like a gated community.
Okay.
So there are probably, my guess is maybe like 500 homes in this community. Maybe a few hundred homes. I don't know. But they had this car that just like goes around constantly with little lights on the back. It looks like a Ford Focus or something like this.
Like a Google
Yeah,
car.
I'm told someone reviewed the documents. Guess how much that car is per year to lease. They're paying this every single year.
lease it?
It's a Ford Focus.
Is it?
I'm
Ford
gonna
Focus.
say some egregious number, 15,000, 20,000.
To lease the Ford Focus.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's a Ford Focus. So this is probably
A $30,000
peak.
car.
Yeah, maybe the car market's high. Maybe $35,000 to buy the car outright.
Just to lease it, like not even like including the person driving it or anything?
No, just the car itself.
Per year? I mean,
Per year.
realistically...
It's a $30,000 car.
I mean, now I feel like I should say like 20,000 just to say something crazy. Cause
All right. You want to hear crazy?
Yeah.
$40,000 a year.
Oh my
That is the cost of this car.
Do they have multiple?
They should have a Lamborghini.
How?
Like what?
They very well could at that price, actually.
$40,000 a year. That's a good question if they have multiple. I only see one of them at a time. Maybe they have two, but still, even two. We're talking realistically, $500 a month per car. So it should be, let's say you have three of them, $18,000 a year for three of them. But then insurance, right? Gas and stuff like that. 25, something, 40,000. I don't get it.
The surveillance in my neighborhood is 200,000 for my neighborhood.
Per year?
But your neighborhood is
My neighborhood's big.
But his is huge.
It's a big neighborhood. But still, I was looking at that, and I was looking at my HOA docs, and they're like pulling in like 7 figures a year.
I would love
spending
to.
it.
I would love to review it. But I realize HOAs, like if you are on the bad side of that, you're like
that's a good
blacklisted.
point.
You like they will make your life awful.
Dang.
And so it's like, do you really want to go up for what? Like you get a funny video out of it, and people are like, oh, look at a $40,000 car.
Yeah.
Is that worth it? I don't know. Because all of a sudden, then they're like, "Hey, Graham, here's a notice. Your car is too loud, and you have to remove it from our premises because
make
it doesn't
another
meet the
video.
definite."
Just wage war against the HOA.
I don't want to move. That's the thing. Then it's like because they would have the right as the HOA. They supersede me. You know, I could complain, but like at the end of the day, they have the final say. Do you bite the hand that feeds? Probably not. But still, 40 grand.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it would be great if I get on that HOA and just like cutting costs. Like how much, like the car.
That doesn't make sense.
We have Lucky Lopez get us like a $5,000 car.
This guy, he literally was planning on attending an HOA board meeting to complain about.
That's funny.
What was it?
The weights in the gym.
The weights in the gym of the community
should.
he's in.
Okay, so the weights end at 50 pounds, and I thought they should end at 70. And I thought it'd be a great use of capital if we could just increase the weights at the gym.
That would be fun.
And oh my gosh, and I was even gonna plan it like the residents would live longer with the higher weights, and therefore they'd be able to make more money. So I thought it was a good investment in the future.
That's a great.
And more people would want to move there if
Because they have
not only more higher weights, but also because the residents were in better shape
That's genius.
and they had bigger muscles, so they'd entice more people.
Right, it's like marketing. It's
Their
advertising.
It's great marketing.
We have
Yeah.
70-pound dumbbells.
Yes,
Yes,
but also
and
look at
strong residents
look
as
at
well.
like everyone looks like Liver King is walking down the street.
They have you on there like this.
Graham's a backpack.
Everyone's just carrying the barbells like up and down the street.
That's smart, man.
It was.
That's a really good idea. Pitch it to him.
I think so.
I like it.
But yeah, they came out with this rule now where you can't park on the street after 10 p.m.
Oh.
So all the cars have to be fit. So here's the thing. They said their preference was that all cars be parked in the garage. So you can't even like park in the driveway, in the garage, unless the garage is inaccessible or like unusable for whatever reason, and then you could park it in the driveway. But like the goal is to get all cars out of sight after 10 p.m.
Oh, wow. That is very specific.
Yeah.
And interesting.
Yeah.
What's the point of a driveway, you know?
I don't know. Oh, and then they also limited the size of the car that you could have parked in front of your house. Yeah, so they wanted to prevent people from having like the big vans or like, you know, little buses or stuff like that parked in their driveway, which I was never bothered by. I don't know who's bothered by it. But
They said the aesthetics are off. We have
probably.
to fix this.
Yeah, there's a height requirement on that. And there is actually, they did enact a decibel sound for your car's exhaust.
What HOA are you living in,
I'm
man?
like,
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm being serious though. They honestly, a decibel requirement for the car.
Yeah, but are they actually going to accost somebody who's like driving their car?
The thing is no, but they create a system where they could do anything they want to. They could find something. So if they don't like you, they could say, well, you drive that car and it's a little bit too loud and we'll enforce it on you. But the other guy, he's cool. We don't have to do that, but we'll do it on you.
Wow.
So they create an environment where you have to play by their rules. So that's why I'm like, do I really want to go up against it and like
Yeah.
Probably not, but it would make a great video.
True. They're gonna be like, we are gonna increase Graham's fee
Exactly.
by $300 and only him.
I don't know. It's for me. It's just the cost. If we could figure out where we're wasting money and bring it back down, because then I worry. This was an issue with Los Angeles. Is that there were not HOAs, but city services and things like this that would be taxpayer funded. But then the money would go to somebody who's like running the company, who's friends with the person who set it up. Like, I'll give you an example. There was a homeless shelter in Los Angeles, and I think the rent was like $60,000 to $80,000 a month. Someone investigated this, and it turned out the person who owns the homeless shelter that they're leasing for like 80 grand a month was friends with someone on the city board, and the rent was twice market value. And they never actually set it up. So they're spending twice the market value. It's worth 40 grand. He's getting 80, and it's empty. And it was never used as a homeless shelter. And there's a lot of stuff.
That's
so like, what if someone on the HOA board is friends with the person who's leasing the car for $40,000? I'm like, there's maybe conflicts of interest.
That's a good point right there.
I don't know.
You should investigate.
I don't know where it's going.
That's a good video right there.
That'd be a great video.
Yeah.
That would be like a CoffeeZilla style video where like you have to
You versus your own HOA. That's what that is like an iDubbbz type video. New style iDubbbz video. I like it.
I don't want to move. I don't want to move. I like where I'm at. I'm just curious, you know? That's all. I'm just curious.
Join the HOA. Become one of them.
Become one. Imagine for the
Start
video.
raising on Jeremy.
Imagine for the video there, like I joined the HOA to infiltrate.
That would be so good, dude.
To get to the
Like
bottom,
that would be
like,
so
getting down
good,
the
Graham.
costs.
I love that video idea.
Or propose like ridiculous rules and see what they'll go with.
I would love that idea.
No, because everyone has to vote on them. So you can never get anything ridiculous. I'm just curious about some of the contracts.
This is not to scare you out of your apartment
No,
that
I'm sure
your
co-ops
co-op that you're buying with
Lovely.
HOA.
It's
Yes,
fine.
They're lovely.
I'm sure you're gonna be just
Co-ops are-
fine.
I know what I'm getting into. It's okay.
Yeah, they don't need patrol
Yeah.
cars. They don't need that.
Luckily.
Let's talk about. I ask every guest this.
Yes.
If your income is made of pie,
Yes.
okay, how are the slices looking? Like, if we're to assign a percentage on each slice, where is it coming from? I don't know why I use the pie analogy, but it's just
Yes.
what I do.
Can you
How's it
say
looking?
pizza instead
Sure.
of pie?
If it's a pizza, what are the slices? Well, no, because a pizza, the slice is supposed to be even. Pie, you cut your own slice. It can be a big slice, small slice. So,
Oh, that's
yeah.
true.
Oh.
So how's
I'm
the
gonna be like, this is 76.13%.
exactly?
Yeah. Well, I would actually probably say 25% AdSense and 75% brand deals. That is what I would say. So definitely majority like brand sponsorships for sure, just because like I feel like AdSense rate is like it's okay, but it's not super good. Also, I mean, just as like a vlogger channel, I mean, I think like my like RPM, like CPM is like pretty decent, but there's definitely other genres out there that are probably better. But yeah, I'm working on like merch and Macha, like I said, so hopefully those will become slices of the pie, but for now it's really just like AdSense brands. So looking to diversify for sure. Yeah.
And is increasing the income one of the like a primary goal of yours right now, or is it mostly just to continue to build sustainably and then potentially dip into
Yeah.
other things?
It's definitely, I feel like my primary goal is always just to like continue growing on YouTube and doing what I love and building that community there. But I do think it is like always like a interesting bonus to be like, holy crap, like your income can grow with that. And definitely just for also safety reasons, I do want to dip into other things just because I feel like I do have faith that YouTube will last a long time, but at the end of the day, like you never know. So I think it'd be really cool to like have a brand that could potentially even like start as my brand. Something like Macha, I feel like I could start similar to like merch, like use some of my own, I guess like star power in a way to kind of kickstart the business. But I do think it's also a business that I could have that is just a business that maybe people buy from and don't even know who I am down the line.
Do you have the infrastructure set up for that? Like, do you already have like it planned out, like everything kind of ready to roll out, or is this an idea that now that you're working on?
It's something that I'm in the process of. So we're definitely trying to still figure out like logistics and things like that. But I've gotten to the point where like I've tried to source some different matchas, figuring out like what people's like roles are going to be, who I'm going to work with and things like that. So it's still getting there, but I want to launch it by this year though, for sure.
Yeah. I've noticed with Bankroll Coffee, the coffee itself doesn't have a lot of margin, but the accessories do. Like if you were to sell...
Really? Okay, cool.
Now, it might be different for matcha.
Yeah.
But coffee beans are expensive. And there's like a price point where people don't want to pay above like $12 to $14 for like a bag of premium coffee.
Yeah.
And so that kind of caps it out. But straws are great.
Really?
Cups are fantastic if you have like a branded cup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, we have ice cube trays, which do really well. I don't know if that would work for matcha.
I mean, I think all those things would probably work similarly. Cup. I know people even like tote bag frother for matcha actually is something as well. But definitely little things like that would be cool.
But that helps. And those are little cool upsells. So like for our coffee, we'll like kind of break even on the coffee. But then at checkout, hey, if you want a deal on this and throw this in, it's like that will kind of make up for it.
Yeah, definitely looking into matcha, like, because I'm just like, oh, I know I want to do like ceremonial grade, like make sure it's like really good or like top of the line from Japan, all these different things. And matcha ends up being so expensive for just like the tiniest little bit. So even if you buy like a little tin, like probably like the market rate is like, I see people sell for like $24 for like a little tin, but it does last like forever.
I think it'd be amazing if you actually went to Japan and like made a whole thing on this.
That would be cool.
That is the goal.
What was the one, the Breaking Bad mezcal?
Oh,
Like
those, yeah.
Yeah. They had a really cool story where they like went to Mexico and it shows them like going through and like meeting people and figuring out like the culture and the history behind it and like that I think if you applied that to matcha and like going to Japan, trying it out, like learning who makes it, like who's behind it, and like really the art and the craft and the history behind it, and like and you find some like a story behind a really cool supplier there, or like someone who makes it out of passion, who's like really in it. It's like 20 generations in, it's like just doing this one thing. I don't know.
No,
just
but
saying,
it's so
like,
cool.
No, I like the idea. It's
like
cool.
a tea ceremony. Like,
but then it's like something special. Then it's not just like, hey, I got a matcha, this is cool because I like it, but there's like this cool history behind it. And people are going to be curious, like, why is that one the best?
Yeah.
And you can be the best.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, I've never been to Asia, like, ever in my life, so I would love to, like, go to, like, Korea or Japan, especially Japan, to look at matcha and everything, so it would be really cool.
I would do that. I think if you're going to do it, I'd say do that and find, like, a good supplier there.
Yeah, it would be cool. Definitely language barrier will be hard, but I will figure it out.
And that could be part of the video, too.
Yeah, I'll get a translator.
That's cool.
Is there anything
Thank
you
you.
wanted to discuss?
Yes, wait, Graham, I actually have a surprise for you, but you have to close your eyes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am serious.
I love surprises.
I know. You're going to love this surprise. You have to close your eyes, though.
Actually? Okay.
Yeah, and you have to hold out one of your hands.
Oh, gosh. Is
Okay.
it money?
Yes.
You're going to put money in my hand?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, keep them closed.
All right. Yeah, there's nothing really that'll, like, spook me unless it's something, like, crazy. Oh,
It's not that crazy.
all right.
Okay, keep holding it.
All right.
Okay, maybe, like, lift your hand a little bit.
Yeah. What is this? Why are you laughing, Jack?
Dude, you're
Wait,
going to love
can
this.
keep your eyes closed, but can I see this hand? Okay, I'm closed. Okay.
What is it?
No, you can open. You can open.
I'm trying to guess what it is. You like it?
S'more. Do you get it?
Oh! That's funny. Were you prepared for this?
Yes, I was. It was in my tote bag.
Actually? Like, you thought of this, like, in advance?
Yes, I did. Before I came down here, I was going to do it in the beginning, and I
Oh,
forgot.
wow.
And halfway through, I was like, oh, I need to do this still.
Oh, man. It's been a long time since I had one of these. But
Yeah.
how do I... I'm kidding, what? Like, Graham, no.
Bruh, that's so funny.
Jeez.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, he going to give it a try.
Yeah, he really likes it. Uh-oh. You dropped some.
No.
That's okay.
Who's the housemate or that lives
This
in this
is
room?
Luke's room.
Luke. Shout out to you, Luke. Thank you
Shout
for
out,
letting us use your room. Very gracious of you. We really
Yes.
appreciate it. You went on Colin and Samir.
Yes, I did.
Tell me about how that was.
That was really fun. I had probably met them like maybe a year prior. They're just really cool guys, super chill, and it was really cool to be on the podcast. I felt like so honored. I feel so honored to be on your guys'
Really?
podcast.
We're
Yes, of
honored to have you.
course.
Yeah.
Yes, I've actually seen quite a few of your videos. I meant to tell you.
What was your favorite?
What was my favorite? I used to watch so many of like, just like when I was living upstate, I was like, I'm gonna have an investment property. So I literally would be like watching every video that's like about like having a property and like what you should do. And I never ended up buying up there. And of course I buy here where the market's like wild, but that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
but
so
yeah,
cool.
no, oh my gosh. I'm trying to think if I have any questions. I'm just glad that got the graham cracker thing down.
Well, now you can clip that, Josh. if you
That's
want to.
wow. That's what it means. Holy
Wait.
mackerel! I did not get it. No.
Are you serious, Jack?
Wow. Okay. Duh.
Wait, what did you think it was?
I just thought it was a s'more.
Are you serious? Even I got that.
I was like, oh, a s'more. Like maybe,
Bruh.
like Graham wants some more because he's. That's
Even I recognized that. I got
Wow.
it like
That's so
immediately. That's why I
funny.
was like biting my hand.
dude.
Glad
I've had
I
a
said
long
that
day.
again so that you could get it.
I've had a very long day. We've been recording, you know, I feel like this New York trip's been draining. You gotta excuse me for that.
Jack has it easy too.
I literally thought
I
like
could sleep in every morning.
It's jokes because he's, you know, he wants some more of something.
What do I want some more of?
Money? I don't know. Views? Okay.
Man.
Yeah, I just don't know if we should
on.
include that part, but
Yeah, put that in there.
Definitely put that in there. Yeah.
Like Jack's little bit at. I don't know if you would get this. Do you know Infinity Edge pulls?
Yes.
oh my god.
Wait, like as an inside joke though?
No, it's not an inside
Oh,
joke.
I do know what
Okay.
Infinity Edge pool
You know,
is.
the Infinity Edge has an edge that goes down into like a little
Mm-hmm.
pool. Jack saw a pool like that. He's like, dude, the pool has a little mini pool. What?
He's like, let's go in the mini pool.
What did you say? Like, why
Why does it have like a second level?
Yeah,
of pool?
why is there another level to the pool? Like, we gotta show that.
That's funny.
The pool, dude, the pool
Yo,
has a
look
pool.
at this. That's really
I was like, that's the overflow for the pool.
Now I know, man. Now I know.
That's really
Graham
funny.
cracker.
graham cracker.
That's
Yeah.
why you were putting your hand over
Yes,
it.
exactly. So it's like, dude,
Dude, you're funny. That's good. That's a great joke. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, well,
Thank
thanks so
you.
much.
Of course.
Oh, did you get a free stock at public.com?
Did you guys check out all the
I
links
did
down
it.
below in the description?
You gotta do that. You can
Your
get it.
links will be down below in the description. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much for coming on the Iced Coffee.
Of
Thank you
course.
guys so much for watching. And until next time.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
welcome.
Yay.
That was great.